Kai, the cat that would go for a walk with us, is no longer with us. I know that Kai's been growing in popularity with people watching our videos. Obviously, I'm sad to let y'all know that. There were definitely tears shed for Kai, absolutely. We loved him. We didn't even have Kai in our life for a whole year. November 1st is when Kai chose us to be his family. It was as if he looked at our family and he looked at Daisy and said, yeah, I could deal with that. Walked right inside of our RV, climbed in Tanya's lap, and was just loving on her right there where she sat. It was a total shocker. And I knew I was in trouble. I didn't want any other cats after Skittle. I was quite adamant about that and put my foot down, but Kai wasn't taking no for an answer. Wasn't afraid of Daisy. Knew how to love on our girls. Knew how to love on me. The girls definitely took to him, but he exhibited behaviors that were very different. Not always the best. Still upset at him for the few times where he would attack our friend's dog. That was a total shocker. He would go out at night and get into fights with who knows what. We're guessing squirrels. The poor guy comes back from brutal fights all bloodied up, and he was even missing a toe at one point. I didn't know that cats could regrow toes. I'm telling you. He had a good chunk of his toe and claw gone, and within 7 months, regrown. Which is very bizarre considering his health status. We weren't really sure about keeping him. We weren't really sure about taking him in. That's why we didn't come forward when we first brought him into our life. Just kind of kept it on the down low, like, yeah, we'll look after you. We'll provide you some food. But he had some problems. He was wetting himself in his sleep. So I knew something wasn't right. He would be very guarding of the water bowl and be constantly in the litter box. He used way more cat litter than I've ever seen another cat use. But he was big and strong, had a big appetite, full of energy, full of life. And we had been through a period of time where we already lost a cat. We know what it looked like when a cat was ready to go. And Kai didn't seem like he was ready to go. So when we took Kai in to get fixed, the vet called us and said, Kai's bladder is full and it's not even straight urine. Something's not right. Are you sure that you want to pay to have Kai fixed? So we felt like Kai wasn't done yet. So we agreed. We did want to proceed. She asked us, do you want to do some tests and try to figure out what's going on? And we said that would be fine. Let's figure this out. And they determined in January that Kai had stage 4 kidney failure. We're like, he just doesn't strike us like someone that's about to, a cat that's about to go. After we got Kai fixed, his demeanor definitely changed for the better. We were able to better keep him inside and keep him around from going out and getting into fights with whatever he was fighting with. We still suspect it was squirrels. We suspect it was squirrels because every time he would see a squirrel through a window, he would start making some very odd chattering noises, almost like he was trying to say curses to the squirrels through the window. We're like, I wonder if it was a squirrel that tore him up like they did. But he was better behaved, more properly mannered. But he still was interesting. He still had his playful mode. Everybody would love it when he'd start chasing your toes, or we could get out a toy and actually play with him. It was estimated he was 6.5 to 7 years old. His teeth were missing. Nobody has any idea when that happened or how that happened, because he was pretty old before he even came into our life. And he loved to go for walks with us. And that was so bizarre, because we just didn't know of any other cats that would go for walks like that, other than our friend Ralph, his Cat Ninja, which you can check him out. RVing with luck, you can go see Ninja walk around with Ralph on some of the videos. So Kai was very special in those regards. Everybody took to him. Everybody loved him. He did a good job. He was handling travel fairly well. He got to see a lot of places he probably wouldn't have got to see if he didn't meet up with us. Made it up to Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, Alabama. Kai got to see a lot. When we got to South Dakota, after maybe a week and a half of being here, he started acting like a normal older cat. So my first thought was, that's odd. He's not acting like a kitten anymore. This is kind of strange. So I wasn't really sure what was going on. I didn't think that he seemed sick or anything. I just thought he's acting like what I'm used to from an elderly cat, just sitting around all the time. No more playful mode. He did still want to go for a walk with us though. When he saw the family go for a walk, he's like, wait for me, and he would try to catch up and keep up with us. Down to about his last week, we started to notice things. He would climb up into Kaylin's bed with her and sleep all night. And he'd sleep all day the next day. Not all day, but usually when I'm getting up and I go out in the morning and I'm taking Daisy out for a walk, he hears the door open and he will dart from wherever because he wants to escape and get outside. He likes to get outside. Sometimes we try to stop him depending on what's going on. This place is pretty decent, and so we've let him go out. But that last week, he stopped showing up at the door. I'm like, where is he? Kaylin would be up, Kira would be up. It'd be like noon. I'd go in there and find him still asleep in Kaylin's bed, been there all night. Once I woke him up, then he was like, oh, hey, what's up? Now he's like, okay, I'll go outside. But then he started to wet himself again. Hasn't done it in a long time. When he'd go for walks with us, he would get tired. Kaylin would have to go pick him up. He couldn't make it more than maybe 20 feet. He'd just kind of be like, I'm done. But he wanted to keep going. She'd carry him for a little while, then he'd be like, all right, put me down. I want to walk. So he'd get down and he'd walk some more. I kid you not, he literally did that up until his last night with us.
Take you to Pennsylvania.
But his last day, instead of crawling up in the bed with Kaylin, he crawled underneath of Kira's bed. She's got kind of like a curtain there. And just laid on a table, kind of looking out the window down there. And just, that's where he stayed. And everybody kind of knew he's hiding. He's hiding from everybody. He's in pain. He knows that life's not going well. He knows he's not doing well. He didn't get up to go get water. He didn't get up to go to the bathroom. He just laid there. So I told Kaylin, I says, okay, we'll take him to the vet. We'll see if there's anything that they can do. Got to the vet's office. They're looking him over. You know, he just looks like a cat that's not feeling great at the moment. That's all he looked like. He's able to keep his composure pretty well. And they found like something in his mouth, like a cyst or something to that effect. And I thought, oh man, that might actually be good. If he's just got like an owie in his mouth that's making it uncomfortable for him to eat, maybe that's what's going on. We told him, I said, you know, he's got a history. He was deemed stage 4 kidney failure back in January. And we gave him the information for the vet down in Texas. So they wanted to do some lab work, and I agreed. So they examined his blood. They called the vet in Canyon Lake, and they came back with a lot of numbers. Every last one of those numbers said he is in a tremendous amount of pain. So it's like the only number that I can think of to compare was creatinine, which is something that's measured for kidney function. When he was in Texas and it was measured, it was at 4. What are you doing, Kai? And so at 4, he was deemed stage 4 kidney failure. He was now so high, they had to dilute it and retest, and it was over 23. Even the cat. Like I said, I'm not that scientific in this stuff. I don't know what this means. I relied on the veterinarian. She's like, you know, we could spend thousands of dollars with the chance that there's a small hope that we can somehow figure this out. I'm like, we don't have thousands of dollars. And I'm like, be honest. Do you think there's any hope? She's like, no. He's already been deemed in kidney failure. He's been in kidney failure for months. Not much you can do. It's like, okay. That's what I figured. I said, you know, last year with Skittle, we struggled with the question of, is it more humane to let Skittle die naturally with us at home or to put her to sleep? And we actually had an appointment scheduled for Skittle to have her put to sleep. But she died on her own with all of us around her. And the vet said, as much pain as Kai is in, Kai knows he's in pain. Kai's going off and hiding, that it would be the right thing to do. It's always tough. Always tough. Some people may disagree with that choice. Anytime I've been through this, I feel like I'm a failure. Like I'm not rich enough to figure out how to fix my cat. It's tough. The family talked it over and was all in agreement that it would be the best way for him to go. The place we went to was terrific, and they provide a room with couches. They did everything so that we could literally stay there with him together as long as we wanted. It went very peacefully, very well. I don't think anybody questioned that this was the right thing to do at that point, except me. Like I said, it's always that fear in the back of my head. If I'd just been richer, could I figure out how to fix my cat? That's how he went. I said, we didn't even have Kai for a year, but he made a huge impact. He really persuaded me that it was okay for us to have another cat for a little while, even while I'm still mourning Skittle, who we had Skittle for over 15 years, nearly 16 years. Yeah, if you came here to this channel looking for Kai, the cat that goes for a walk with me, he's in heaven now. Up there chasing squirrels. Thanks for watching, y'all.